Hi. Let's see what happens.
I don't know what this thing is. I think it's a strip show, dance show.
Work there, dude.
Welcome to DeaconLive.
DeaconLive.
Welcome back, guys. On today's show, this week in being killed by a professional and how raking the leaves is ruining the planet. Also, why eBay is for real this time, and what's the right way to tip. Or is this the right way to tip? All this and much more will be discussed here on Deacon Live as we crawl through... I forget what I was going to say. Welcome to Deacon Live. As we crawl through some of the news stories you might have missed over the last 7 days or so. How are you? How are things? How are things going? Are you doing all right? Are you getting along with everyone? That's the only thing I ask for, is that you're getting along with everyone. And let me start out by saying I am not getting along with anyone right now. I know I always preach get along with everyone, and then all of a sudden I'm not getting along with people, and it's Facebook's fault. It's fucking Facebook. I swear to fucking God. I swear to God. Every time I turn around, hey, someone tagged you in a post. Highlighted, fucking highlighted. And I must have blocked and dismissed at least 50, 60 people in the last 4 weeks or so. Now, if you don't know what this is, Facebook, for some reason, you get this one person that's got like 67,000 people that are part of their Facebook page. And they type in, if you type in the word @highlights, you can see who's been looking at your Facebook page. And, ooh, isn't that cool and scary and all that stuff? Let me tell you, it's fake. It's a scam. I don't know what the actual scam is, but I know that, hold on, I'm switching screens here at the same time. I know that Facebook will never, ever, 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 for now, will show you who's been looking at your Facebook feed or looking at your Facebook, the stalkers. I want to know who's looking at my stuff. No, it doesn't work that way. And if all you morons, I'm going to say it, you guys are morons. And if you're watching me here on the YouTube video, I'm pointing to you right there. Yes, you are morons. If you actually go, I'm going to see who's following my page and stuff. And you put that @highlights, and if my fucking name comes up, I'm going to call you every name in the fucking book, and then I'm going to block you. I had one person, I go, you're a fucking idiot. And then someone defended this girl or whatever, I don't know who the fuck she is. Why are you calling her an idiot? She's a very smart and intelligent woman. And I said, well, guess what? She's not very smart and intelligent if she has to sit there like high school cheerleaders to see who's looking at my Facebook page. Oh my God, Brenda's looking at my Facebook page. Oh my God, can you believe it? Her and Dardry, whoever, Deidre is out there looking at my Facebook page. She doesn't even know who I am. How dare she look at me? And it's high school bullshit. But I mean, that's how Facebook got started. It was a college thing at one time. I think they were rate the girls or something like that. That's how Facebook started. I forget. I have to watch the movie again. But I'm telling you right now, if you can be everyone out there can be my friend all day long. All you have to do is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio, where it says social contacts. You can see all the links on my Facebook pages, all my Instagram pages, my TikTok, YouTube video. Don't forget, for every podcast we have a matching video as well. So you can see all this in real time. And by all means, subscribe, like, share, do all that stuff. Be part of the Deacon Live show. But if you, God damn it, if you highlight me in one of these things and I pop up, you've been highlighted on Teresa Malsworth's Facebook page, and I look in there and I go, you dumb son of a bitch. You are so stupid. Deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out. Everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be good today. I promise you, everything's going to be all right. And yes, everything's going to be good. Everything's going to be all right. All right. On that note, guys, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to get into, and people are dying by their professionals. And when I say professionals, like your laundry guy, your chef, if you've got a chef or something like that. Professional workers are killing their employees. on purpose. Well, sort of on purpose. We'll dive into those stories when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Maybe I should turn that down, but we'll see. I don't know where my pause button's at. I'm really upset about my pause button. Oh, well. Should I bring it down a little bit? How about that? And then bring this up some more? How's that? Is that a little bit better? Maybe I'll bring it to 45. How about that? That feels a little bit better. That feels a little bit better. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be famous, podcast famous? Well, you can do that. And what you have to do for me, though, is you go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET radio.com. At the bottom of the page says Be Heard. Click on that, opens up a microphone, hit record. You can be anonymous if you want. Speak right into your device, comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on this podcast or the very next podcast as well. And don't forget, we've got over 9 years of show, so if you want to ask us any questions of anything that we've done in the past 9 years or so, but feel free to do that, and we'll answer them here on the air. And for every podcast we do, we have a matching video. Go over to YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe over there. Just subscribe. I don't care if you like it or not. Just subscribe. It's not a money grab. It's just another avenue for you to be in part or be involved during the Deacon Live show. We've got a lot of visuals that happen here in the studio. So when I'm talking about articles and stuff, you can see them in real time as I'm talking about them here on the air. If there's any kind of videos or pictures or anything like that. Now, I like going to the dentist. It doesn't bother me one bit. I think it's somewhat relaxing. It's almost a way of me to control my anxiety for a certain point. And the reason why I say that is because when you go in there, they have to do this. They have to do, the drilling, they have to do the scraping, they have to do the cleaning, they have to do all this stuff. If you have any major medical work done, they really don't tell you what's going on. They just say, we're going to do this. They jump right in and do it. They numb you up and stuff. I hate the one shot that I hate when they numb you up is the one that they get in the top roof of your mouth in the back to numb that part. If they have to do any work in the back of your throat. Or in the backside of your molars or wherever it is. I'm not a dentist by any means. But I like going there. It's nice and relaxing. That my my dentist is really, really good. Now, I've gotten all my veneers done. I've gotten all my work done. So now it's just general maintenance. And unfortunately, my dentist is all the way across town. It's like an hour and 15 minutes to get there. So we're going to switch to a new dentist. Just for like cleanings and just normal maintenance on what I have going on here. My beautiful smile. Hi, how are you? It saves a lot of time and it's local and I believe it doesn't cost as much because he's in a rich man's neighborhood over there as to where we just broadcast out of a little shithole town called Marshville. Population 2,500 people, where the dentist really doesn't have a whole lot of teeth to clean out here because you know what I mean? Ding, 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 ding. I know that's bad. But unfortunately, this woman went to her dentist and ended up dying. In Pierce County, Washington, Pierce County dentist has been suspended after a patient died allegedly due to a procedure. The dentist didn't accurately assess the patient's level of risk, consulted with the patient's physician, properly monitoring the patients during the procedure, or provided enough medication to reverse the effects of the sedatives being used. During the procedure, the patient's oxygen saturation level, heart rate, and blood pressure allegedly dropped, causing their death. The Dental Quality Assurance Commission suspended the dentist's license and moderate sedation permit. The DOH said he won't be doing any practicing in the Washington area until charges have been resolved. And because the court case is pending, they haven't released the names or anyone like that. Can you imagine that? You go to the dentist for just a routine surgery and all of a sudden you're dead? I mean, I say imagine, but just something for maybe some kind of like a root canal. And I know that they have dentist offices or places that do that where they kind of put you under just a little bit, like if you have nerves and stuff and you're a little bit scared or a little bit, anxiety, just give you one of those gummies, give them a gummy edible. Maybe that's the direction we should go in, but who's to say? Obviously, this dentist in Washington did not follow the correct procedures when addressing this patient that he ended up killing. Now, all the way down under, an Australian professional and personal chef has been charged with murder as well, after 3 people were found dead over the summer after a catered lunch party that she cooked for. In July, 3 guests died and 2 others grew critically ill in the small Australian town of Leongatha. I'm going with that. At a family lunch, after consuming the poisonous death cap mushrooms that were prepared for them by 49-year-old chef Aaron Patterson. Before becoming a chef, Patterson worked as an air traffic controller for the Air Services Australia from 2001 to 2002. Patterson was charged with 3 counts of murders, 5 counts of attempted murder. 2 of the attempted murder charges related to the July incidents, while police said that there are 3 additional counts that attempted murder related in other incidences between 2021 and 2022, where the people in Corumbara, Australia, also became ill after consuming meals prepared by Patterson. At the time of the incident, Patterson told reporters that she didn't do anything wrong and was devastated by what happened. Patterson did not, however, explain how she obtained the mushrooms or what kind of mushrooms she was using to prepare the meal. According to Britannica, death cap mushrooms are the deadliest mushrooms known to humans, native to Europe and the British Isles, with toxins so damaging to the human body that they cannot be destroyed by boiling, cooking, freezing, or drying them. Seems like a really, really bad cap there. Patterson is currently in custody and is set to appear at court on Friday. So there's some people out there. There's some crazy people out there. Now, this seems to be intentional. I'll make sure I got the right camera on here. So this seems to be intentional. What is the angel of mercy, where the nurses will actually cause people to die by I think there was an episode of, I don't know what show was, 911, CSI, something where they were shooting the saline bags with a drug that, couldn't be found and people were dying. Oh God. I mean, we're putting our life into these people's hands. Now, when you go to a restaurant, you don't expect your life to be taken when you're sitting there ordering a meal and eating these things, but I would stay away from the mushrooms. That's why I don't eat mushrooms. And you can't even boil them. You can't even boil the toxins or cook the toxins out. It's in there automatically with these death caps. So I just thought those 2 stories were kind of weird, kind of creepy, coming out of Halloween and stuff and going into Thanksgiving dinner. So good luck, everyone. Hope you make it through. Family and friends. I worked with a guy. He would never eat anything. If he went to a cookout, he would never eat anything at the cookout. He would always bring his own food because he's like, I've seen the way people live. He was a black guy. And granted, he's got his own requirements as far as what he eats. He doesn't eat any red meat. He doesn't do any of that stuff. So he would bring his own food for the barbecue, but he wouldn't eat anything. Like if they had potato salad or something like that, he's like, I've seen people's kitchens. I know how I don't know how they made it. They might stir everything up with their fingers. But like I said, we're going into Thanksgiving. So good luck, everyone. When we come back, eBay is saying that, hey, by the way, come back to us. Forget about Amazon stuff. Our stuff is real. We promise this time. And I'll dive into that story and what that actually means. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want something for free? Well, we will give you something for free. But what you got to do for me is go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says free swag. Little drop down menu there, and you can see all the different prize packs that we have out there for you. Just to say thank you, Prophet Radio would like to say thank you for listening to all the different podcasts that they sponsor here, broadcasting right out of the Prophet Radio studio. If you look over my shoulder, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see all the different behind me in the back, you can see all the different programs that are broadcast out of this studio. So pick yourself out a little prize pack if you want another podcast to listen to that's the same shape or fashion as this show here. And if you're enjoying this, by all means, check out everything that Prophet Radio has to offer over there with the other podcasts. Well, we'd appreciate you if you did that as well. So now, and I like Wal Mart. I believe, you know, if I was still living in Orlando, now I was born and raised in Orlando, Florida, where we have everything. We have, you know, all the different grocery stores. If you want to go here, specialty stores here, specialty stores for this. If you want a store that's just strictly, you know, whatever bread, you got a bakery by itself. You got, you know, all these different places that are individually made. Unfortunately, like I said, when we live out here in Marshville, we don't have anything out here. We really don't. We've got like one Mexican restaurant, a bunch of little mom and pop restaurants that are like, you know, I can make half this shit at home, you know. Oh, you want a BLT sandwich? Well, here it is. It's $13. And I'm like going, this is garbage. I can make this at home. There's no sous chefs out here. Let's put it that way. Making death cap mushrooms and serving them to the public. But Wal Mart, for the most part, is the, you know, this town's thriving source as far as, you know, what you wear. I mean, I know we get a lot of stuff online and stuff out here, but I mean, you know, just this local population, because it is a rural town. It's a chicken town. It's a home of Randy Travis. So if you put Chicken Town and Randy Travis together, that gives you an idea of actually what kind of people are out here in Marshville. Now, they're all good. They're all down to home, down to earth people. They'll help you out. They'll give you a shirt off their back. It's just that there's not a whole lot of culture out here. The family tree doesn't split too many times, if you know what I mean. But I mean, everyone, like I said, is good to you out here, and they treat you right. But in Walmart right now is starting to treat people right in the early hours. Starting this Tuesday coming up, November 10th, Walmart stores, you'll notice, will be a little bit less noisy during the morning trip. The retail giant announced that all the stores in the U.S. will hold sensory-friendly hours between 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. as well every day, during which the overhead radio will be turned off, lights will be dimmed. Where possible, all televisions will hold a single image, making this environment less stimulating for those that have PTSD or ADHD or with autism or anything like that. Walmart tested this concept in creating a quieter shopping experience in a pilot program earlier this year as part of the initiative to make the stores more inclusive for customers with sensory disabilities, such as autism. The trial run during the back-to-school session, the retailer had held a sensory-friendly hour Saturday morning. Following the overwhelming positive feedback for customers and employees, the company has decided to hold quiet hours every day to make this move permanent. From face-to-face conversation... Oh, I don't want to talk about him. The blogs include these messages where employees and customers were hailing the sensory-friendly hours. A quote goes out saying, "As a mother of a child with autism, thank you very much for recognizing the needs and being sensitive to them. Little things such as lighting, noise, etc. does make a big difference." Several associates expressed the desire to continue this program all year round. Walmart store manager Tyler Morgan said, We have associates with autism, ADHD, etc. in the store, and one of the associates made a comment that this is the first time a company did something just for him. And now we could all use some calm during this stressful holiday season, so I hope this program can continue as well. So I worked for, back in my college days, I worked for Office Depot. Before the whole conglomerate ate up Office Max and Staples and all that, there was a place called Office Depot. And when I worked there, I worked early shift, 5 in the morning, so I'd get to school in the afternoon. And I was like, man, you know, where's the music? Where's the ambiance music in the background that, you know, whether it be elevator music or something. And at the time, you know, I was young. I was maybe, 19, 20 years old. The store manager goes, several years back, and this is probably back in 94, 95, somewhere around there, the manager goes, "Oh, we're not allowed to have music in the store at Office Depot." And I go, "Why?" He goes, "Someone many years ago complained, rolled up this and, pressed lawsuits and filed charges and all this stuff because there was a song on there that had something that she didn't agree with or something like that. So instead of just saying, okay, we'll take that song out of the rotation, they completely shut down all music in Office Depot. So that's when you go in there, it's kind of dead. It's kind of quiet in there, which is nice. But Walmart's now doing this every day, 8 to 10. I don't know how long they were going to do it for, maybe just during the holiday season, because I can see a holiday season can be a little dramatic for people with autism or PTSD or anything like that. But I mean, even old people, I mean, if it's just quieter for older people, they can, like my dad would probably go in there early in the morning if it was nice and quiet and he could go around and shop without anything loud and an obstruction or obnoxious to him. I'm sure he would do that. So that's what they're doing there. Now, Amazon right now is the big killer as far as online purchasing. Some of you might not remember a place called eBay. eBay was the biggest thing as far as buying stuff online. Oh, you can buy something that someone has across the country and they'll ship it to your house? Yes. And then you would rate that person? Yes. And then you find out that sometimes you would buy something and it would be full of rocks or full of, whatever the product was or something like that, and you give them a bad review. And this kind of spiral with a whole lot of like scammers and stuff out there. So eBay's response is to come up with this new program called Authenticity Guarantee. Now, they don't do everything as far as giving the stamp of approval for all the products out there. Their main concerns are people that are, wanting to buy watches, handbags, jewelry, sneakers. There's a whole world of sneaker pimps out there and trading cards. And I believe they worked in like auto parts and stuff like that to make sure they work. And you're like going, okay, so what do they do? So let's say, for example, I've got a watch and I say it's a Rolex or whatever it is. And I say I'm selling it on eBay for $5,000. How do I know that watch as a buyer is going to be real, authenticated? Authentic. Let's do that word. Well, they've come out with this new authenticity guarantee with a blue check mark. So anytime you see something that has a blue check mark on it, it's going to be authenticated. Now, this is how it works. This is going to slow down the process enormously. So if your item is eligible at eBay authenticity guaranteed, it will automatically be added to the program free of charge. There's no opt-in, there's no opt-out option. These items included in the eBay authenticity program display a blue authenticity guaranteed checkmark badge. Buyers will see the badge and in the search results for this page. They will view the item on the page, check out the page, and then their purchase history page. So I guess you can see all the stuff that they've done before when you're looking at my watch that's on my eBay. When you make the sale, you, meaning me, if I'm selling this watch, have to send the item to an authenticator to their address provided by eBay. Once they receive this item, they inspect the process within about 2 business days. Once the authenticator confirms that the item is consistent with the listing details and title, description, images, they will perform a physical authentication inspection. If the inspector cannot determine that the product is authentic, or if the product is not described in the listing, the item will return back to you and the buyer will receive their full money back. If the item passes the inspection, the item will be shipped to the buyer within 2 days, secure delivery. If the item passes the inspection and is a trading card, it will be shipped to the buyer within 4 days, secure delivery. Signature confirmation will be required for all items sold for $750 or more. So I guess people were getting gypped as far as what they were getting on eBay. Now, Are they saying by rolling out this program, are they lowering your expectations on the other stuff that eBay has to offer you? You know, like if I'm going to buy a washer machine, not that they selling washer machines on there. Let's say they're selling, what else would I buy on eBay? Oh, like an outfit, you know, a shirt or something like that. And it's like I'm wearing this Nike shirt here. And, you know, they show the shirt and stuff. And then I get it and it's like 2 sizes too small. Well, you said this was a large. Well, a large compared to what? So I don't know how far they're going to reach with that. But they're starting somewhere. They have to do something because I know that their business is going down the tubes for the most part as far as people selling like collectibles and stuff. But I guess they're working this into their program to make sure that you feel more confident when buying from eBay, because there's a lot of scammers out there. It was kind of like wild west there for a little bit. So I guess they're trying to pull the rope in on that. All right, guys, when we come back, how did fake boobs save this guy's life during a or a lung transplant? This story gets really, really crazy, and it's kind of like, hey, great idea. So stick around. We'll dive into that when we come back. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. You want to be heard? Well, we'd love to hear from you. And the way you can be part of the show is go over to Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live. That's PROPHET radio.com. At the bottom of the page has a little blue bar with a little microphone on it. It says be heard. Click on that. Hit record. You can be anonymous if you want. You can ask us anything you want. We'll play it on the very next podcast as well. And I'll get to yours here shortly. Speak right into the microphone. You can ask us anything you want, or just say, hey, you know, happy birthday or whatever. I don't care. It's just we want to hear from you because I know you're out there. I see the numbers growing and growing and growing across the United States. So don't be shy. Don't be, you know, you can do it. I swear. I have faith in you. I really do. You can be authentic guaranteed. All right. Authentication guaranteed. Just leave a little message right there. It comes right to the inbox. Now, it's that time of year, and we live on, 22 some odd acres out here. The reason why I have so much land is because we have chickens, we have animals, we have horses for the most part. And it takes a lot of land to feed these horses, so they can graze and stuff, and a lot of buildings and stuff that we have here on the property to take care and house the supplies and things that help take care of this community, this little compound that we have here in Marshville. Now, you ask yourself, where's Marshville? It's about an hour east of Charlotte, North Carolina. So we're still, I think we're about maybe 15 to 20 miles from the South Carolina border. So we're in that little junction there. So if you're looking at South Carolina, North Carolina, we're right there on the border, just southeast of Charlotte. But we have 2 huge oak trees in the backyard or in the front yard. I'm talking huge. They are massive. And here in North Carolina, people come up to see the color of the leaves change colors. And that's all well and good. But what happens is when they change colors, they fall to the ground. And I have to go out there and spread lime out there so my soil doesn't get real acidic. And then I go out there with the lawnmower and just crunch them all up. Crunch, 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 crunch. Let them biodegrade in the soil, feed the tree, feed the plants, feed everything around it. But what they're saying right now is raking leaves is the quintessential fall activity, but some experts are advised leaving the leaves instead. Well, that's what I do. Leaving the leaves can help your lawn reduce greenhouse gases, according to the United States Department of Agriculture. All right. Yard trimmings, which includes leaves, create about 35.4 million tons of waste in 2018. Okay, so hold on a minute. You're telling me that the landfills and stuff, it's creating waste. I understand, some landfills burn a lot of this stuff off. Oh, there's green gas emissions and all this other stuff. According to the Environmental Protection Agency, yard trimmings account for about 12.1% of municipal solid waste. Most of the compositions are mulched, but billions of tons of yard trimmings still make it to the landfills. The benefit of leaving leaves on your yard is none. They kill your grass. That's why you got to rake them up. If you've ever had an oak tree, you notice that there's nothing that grows underneath it. Well, there's a reason for that. The leaves make that soil too acidic, and then nothing will grow, except for azaleas. Azaleas do very well out there. And you ask yourself, well, Deacon, how do you know all this stuff? I went to school for a while, in Florida had a very successful landscape business during the home housing bubble, and then the bubble popped and no one wanted to spend $15,000 to $16,000 on the yard anymore. So we had to sell the business and move on. The National Wildlife Federation naturalist David McConzowicz advises leaving the leaves on your yard. He quotes by saying, fallen leaves offer double benefit. Leaves form a natural mulch that helps suppress weeds, fertilizes the soil as it breaks down. Bullshit. You're a moron. It does not. Why spend the money on mulch and fertilizer when you can make your own? Leaves on the garden feed the microorganisms that are the life of the soil. Decaying leaves add organic matter to the soil, which decreases the need for fertilization, according to the USDA. Leaves also absorb rain and release moisture. Okay, all this stuff is true. I understand that, but you have to understand it changes the pH balance of the soil. That's where I'm getting at. You can't just put leaves out there, especially, your deciduous trees, the oak trees and stuff that drop their leaves. They make the soil too acidic. Are you not listening to me? I'm telling you, I guarantee you take a whole bag of leaves, oak leaves, right? You put them around your flower beds and stuff. All those plants will be dead by next summer or by next spring. Guarantee you. Or they'll look like shit. Guarantee you. You heard it here first. They also say that leaves on your lawn also act as a habitat for lizards, birds, turtles, frogs, insects over the winter. According to the USDA, leaf litter is also a food source for animals that use it for nesting materials, according to the National Wildlife Federation. Now, because we have horses here, it's kind of unique. They actually grab horse mane hair that's around the property. You wouldn't see it. Any of the hair that's fallen off the horses, and I've seen nests made with the horse's mane. I've seen nests made with the horse's mane, and it's really, really cool to kind of look at those and stuff. So there you go. They say don't do that. Let the leaves lie. And I say no. You can rake them up, just move them somewhere else. Just so, put them in your landfill. But don't they just biodegrade? I mean, you're essentially doing the same thing, right? When you go, if you ever been to a landfill and they say, okay, what do you got? I got a refrigerator, I got an old grill, and I got 15 bags of yard trimming. They don't just say, okay, throw all of that in one pile. No, they say separate it. Put the yard debris over there, put the refrigerator over there. Hopefully there's not a body inside, like from last week's show. And then put the grill over there where all the scrap metal is. They make you separate it to a certain point. This guy thinks that they're just piling it all in one big place, like Staten Island out there. Now, this gentleman right here was a landscaper for many years and used to smoke cigarettes. And then he opted to starting doing the vape pen and stuff. And within 10 years, it almost killed him. I know. I don't smoke. My dad used to smoke. He doesn't smoke anymore. I don't know how many years he has not smoked at all. My wife, when I first met her, smoked, but it was like that casual smoking, like coming home from work or going to work, one of those, the road trip there. I think it was just mostly boredom and all, but she doesn't smoke anymore. I think, and what are they saying now that kids that are born after, I forget what year it is, let's say it's 2025, kids that are born after 2025 are not allowed to buy cigarettes or something like that. There's some kind of new law that they're passing just to keep kids all together from buying cigarettes. Now, I know they have the 18 years old and stuff, but I mean, they're saying kids that are going to be born after a certain date cannot buy cigarettes at all, no matter what the legal age is. But this gentleman right here, like I said, he was a landscaper and got the flu and almost lost his whole entire life. His whole entire life. But breast implants were used to save a man's life who vaped, got the flu, and needed a double lung transplant. Using the double D implants to stabilize David Bauer's heart during surgery gave doctors gave the 34-year-old a fighting chance. So here's what happened. Doctors in Chicago Northwest Medical Medicine performed a groundbreaking procedure where they used double D breast implants to save the life of a man who vaped for years, caught the flu. His condition deteriorated so quickly and he was at the end of the road, says Dr. Akin Bharat, chief surgery and director of the Canning Thoracic Institute. David Bauer, 34, was in good health for years. He worked a physical job in landscaping in DeSoto, Missouri. I'm going with Missouri. M.O. And also enjoyed snowboarding and skateboarding. He vaped for nearly 10 years. He said it seemed to be a healthy alternative to smoking. But when Bauer, who said he never got the flu shot, caught the flu in April, his condition deteriorated rapidly. As his girlfriend of 7 years, Suzanne Gore, sticking around with this guy, huh? Tells People magazine exclusively he went to urgent care and was told, oh, you have a little bit of pneumonia. Here's a Z-Pack and off you go. She said by the next day he couldn't move. Susan drove me to the ER, he says. I honestly barely remember walking into the ER, and then I woke up out here in Chicago with new lungs. Ugh, God almighty. So let's see what actually happened. You ready? Dr. Barrett explains to People magazine, when the infection is so fulminant, F-U-L-M-I-N-E-N-T, fermentant, which is, I guess, the medical term that they use for it. It's so overwhelming and so bad that the body doesn't even have the opportunity to clear the infection. The bacteria eats away at the lung and causes more and more pus secretions. Ugh. Bauer nearly died when he was transferred to Chicago Northwest Medicine as a last-ditch effort. Considering withdrawing care because he was so sick, his lungs were completely damaged, and nothing further could be done. When Bauer arrived at the Northwestern Medical Center, he went into cardiac arrest from the infection. The hospital was correct in saying that it was the end of the road for poor Bauer. But Bauer's team came up with an innovative way to save Bauer's life and kept his heart stable. After removing his completely damaged lungs to give his body a chance to fight off the infection, that's when the breast implants came in. So they removed his lungs, stuck him on an iron lung or whatever to help him breathe. But if you got no lungs in your chest, what do? Your heart kind of just, it's loose. It's loose in there. So the doctor had, I guess, I don't know why he had 2 double D breast implants laying around. Hey, let me get one of those gloves and blow them up, with the fingers on it, and we'll wedge it in here. No, he used 2 breast implants that he had laying around, I guess, I don't know where, and cradled or made a cradle for the heart so it wouldn't bounce back and forth while they operated on him and got his lungs out of there, and while he was waiting for a lung transplant. It was kind of almost magical to see what took place when we took all the old lungs out. Within a matter of hours, his body began showing signs of healing and recovery. His heart started to get stronger without all the bacteria. Bauer was healing so well, they listed him for a transplant within a couple days, but perfect lungs have already been accepted by the recipient of another center. So they actually agreed to redirect this organs to us because of how sick Bauer was. He said he got another offer in about 2 days and was successfully transplanted. So everyone ended up winning from this. His girlfriend said, I was on, let's see, what's it say here? When Bauer was told that he'd been saved essentially by double D implants, he said, I thought it was hilarious. His girlfriend said, I was honestly jealous. These days, they are still in Chicago, where Bauer is being treated on an outpatient basis, returning to the hospital for regular therapy and exams. He's also speaking out about vaping, telling People magazine, I feel like it contributed to this situation. Hindsight is 20/20, he said, but I can also see a stupid habit of how bad the habit was, and it definitely took control of my life. So there you go, and he almost lost his life. So I don't know if that's I mean, what do you do before? This can't be the first time that they've had to take lungs out. Maybe they had like an intern sitting there holding the guy's heart, steady in his chest while they took the lungs out and go, okay, sir. All right, don't mess with the heart. Leave it right there. Don't let it move. Okay, I got to itch my nose. Tough shit, Timmy. And he moves his hand, the heart falls over and beep, damn it. Just doesn't get any easier. So there you go. Saved his ass. All right, guys, when we come back, this note that this guy left on when he was trying to tip this waitress probably could save her ass as well. We'll dive into that when we come back. So stick around. You're listening to Deacon Live right here on Prophet Radio. I'll be right back. Welcome back to Deacon Live. Make sure you follow us on all your social networks. And the way you do that is go over to Prophet Radio, PROPHET radio.com. At the top of the page says social contacts. You can see all the links that links us to you and you to us as well. And don't forget, for every podcast we do, we have a matching video over on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe over there, and it just gives you another avenue to enjoy the show, a visually aspect of the show, because there's a lot of visuals that we have here in the program that we discuss here. And if you're not watching us on YouTube right now, now's a great chance to go over there, because I've got some cool videos that I'm going to show you in a picture of this bill that came in. And I think this is kind of tipping done right. It gets a little extreme. People start pushing their politics on you. Now, we try to be as politically neutral here on the program as much as possible. I'll tell you what makes me stink, or not make me stink, but I'll tell you what stinks sometimes, and I'll tell you what I feel is right sometimes. Those are just my opinions, but that's the nature of the show, and that's what we get into here on Deacon Live. Now, I'm going to switch to camera 4, and we're going to go to this right here. This was posted up on Facebook. Now, I know this is an older picture of it, but this is where I was kind of talking about here. So this is a receipt from Mountain Sky Restaurant, and I don't know where Mountain Sky Restaurant is. Doesn't have it's in Arkansas, Valdez, Arkansas. And this person ordered table 6. Cashier was Song H. That's the person's name. And it says they ordered, guess 1, chicken fried steak with hash browns and eggs over easy. Good start there. Also ordered side of bacon. Also a good start. Coffee, juice, and milk. Maybe they had like a 5-year-old or something like that. I don't know why they had the milk. Total bill, $17 for the chicken fried steak, $3 for the bacon, $2.50 for the coffee, $3 for the large orange juice, and then $4 for the milk. Total bill was $29.50. Now, if you look right here, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can see right here, John B. Watts, because that's who ran their credit card, wrote on the ticket saying taxation is a theft, and wrote 0 in the tip. All right, guy. All right, John. And he spells it Jon, so you know he's a class act. Then he slips in on the receipt a $20 bill and a little note that says, and I quote, "This is a gift from me to you." And this is a printed note. Like he's got a pocket full of these, like business cards. And it says, "I'm permitted by the tax code to make income tax-free gift transfers to family, friends, and others as long as they do not exceed $14,000 per year. Because this is a quote-unquote gift and not a tip, you do not need to report this as income on your tax returns. Thanks for everything, John. Hashtag Libertarian Party, minimal government with maximum freedom." So people will do the darndest things to get their message out there. I do agree with some of the taxing. You know, we get taxed several times on $1. You know, when you work, you get for every $1, we get taxed on it over and over and over again. It gets kind of repetitious. But these rules are old. The laws are old, and they're not going to change because you know what? The government is the one. It's a money machine. You know, they're trying to get in money and stuff. I do believe in taxation. Taxation is not a theft. Because without taxation, we wouldn't have roads. We wouldn't have some medical programs like like what's his name with the fake boobies in his chest, holding his heart up. I'm sure he didn't pay for that. He was a landscaper. I'm sure that qualified for some kind of federal grant government. But as far as like the getting your message across. This is a little extreme, and it's, he made it a point by putting, tipping done right. All right, guy, we get it. Cash in hand. I'm not going to do that. Let me explain something to you. I waited tables. I used to live in Miami for a little bit, for about 2 years on and off. And I also lived in Orlando, Florida. So I would commute. I'd go down there and work for 3 or 4 days and then come back to Orlando. And I would wait tables in the meantime, waiting for my shift to start down in Miami. I was a DJ in Miami. Let's put it that way. I was a DJ in Miami. I'd work the weekends and then I come up here back to Orlando where I lived. So during that time, I needed a little spending cash. So I did wait tables. And the way they work it out is the reason why you get paid like $2.13 an hour is because when they take the tax out of your paycheck, you should get a paycheck at the end of the month or at the end of the week or however they pay you for $0 because your $2.13 or $3.13, whatever that is, pays for your taxes for your shift. Now, if you're walking around and you get walking around with cash in hand, let's say you make $150 that night, you don't have to claim the $150. You can put $20 on there if you want. I'm no dummy. How much did you make tonight? Like $20. Oh, really? So they'll tax you on the $20, which it all becomes mute. Meanwhile, you're walking away with $200 and some odd in your pocket. I think they've figured out a way to improve that as far as capturing that. But yeah, that's the way it used to be. At least that's when I was waiting tables. And I waited tables for almost 30 days. So it's got to be right? If I say it, it's got to be right. Now, not too long ago, about 2 years ago, maybe a little more, I had a truck. Chevy Silverado, 2012, 10 years old. And I was getting ready to get a brand new truck. So I didn't need this truck now. I was no way going to get the amount of money, what it was worth for a trade-in. I always take care of my vehicles. I make sure that, oil change. I look all over for any scratches or anything like that. I always made sure that I kept my trucks and my vehicles in good check because I know one day, I'm going to have to trade it in for something. Well, this guy right here was doing the same thing. He was selling his... Hold on. I know, we get all excited here. I got shit flying around me. So in Philadelphia, this gentleman right here was selling his 2007 Chevy Silverado in mint condition for $9,400, $9,400. When the guy actually pulled up, right when he pulled up, a deer comes jumping out of the woods. They live in like a rural type area, flying over a Pontiac Vibe and a Honda CRE that were parked in the driveway all side by side before arriving and landing in the bed of the truck, the Chevy Silverado that he's getting ready to buy here. So if you watch this, look at this. Let's see, make sure we're on the right camera here. It goes over and over and over again. So here comes the deer flying. That's easily 15 feet. Lands in the back of the truck. Here he goes. Whee! Bonk! Hits the side of the truck. Jumps out. Takes off. And the guy who's buying the truck, if you look in the very background here, he's got like a little Durango or something. He's getting ready to walk up the driveway. Vaughn was prepared to sell his 2007 Chevy Silverado truck in mint condition for $9,400. Yet just as the buyer pulled up in Vaughn's driveway in the Hampton Township of New Jersey, sorry, I said Philadelphia, it's New Jersey, a rude entrance from a deer altered the deal. The leaping deer crashed and landed in the pickup truck before running off as Vaughn looked at it in disbelief. I just couldn't believe it, Vaughn says. I promised the guy that truck it was immaculate condition, and here comes a deer out of nowhere and just caves in the side of it. Vaughn told CBS he's not sure if the deer was injured. The dent that the deer made caused Vaughn to lower this price to $8,500. I can tell Vaughn with no doubt in my heart that the deer is not injured and it's perfectly fine. He probably still running at full tilt through the backwoods and highways, destroying cars, spreading ticks, and recklessly abandonment. Evil creatures these are. And apparently they fly now, Vaughn says. So if you want to see this one more time, look at this. Watch. He'll fly right over this. I mean, these are not small vehicles. Whee! Boom! Right in the side. Oh, he got it good. If you look at the side of the truck there, the bed of the truck, he got it good. Yep. Oh, man. Poor guy. Hey, Did you see that? That's what I would have said to the guy. I would have said, I would charge you a little bit more. What's the chances that happen? Now you got a story to tell. Anyway, so he dropped this price another $1,000, but at least he's got a story to tell his family members or whatever. Deer flew in the side of my truck just as I was getting ready to buy it. All right, guys, on that note, we're going to let you get back to enjoying the rest of your day. Make sure you follow us on YouTube. Search Deacon Live Podcast. Make sure you subscribe over there. We don't do it for the money over there. It's just another avenue for you to enjoy the podcast and be part of the show. And we'd love for you to be part of the show as well. And the way you do that is go to Prophet Radio, PROPHET Radio. At the bottom of the page says Be Heard, a little microphone, click record. You can be anonymous if you want. Speak right into it, comes right to our inbox, and we'll play it on the very next podcast. Sorry I didn't get to the people this week. I will promise next week I'll get to those people. And if you want something for free while you're over at Prophet Radio, proud sponsors of Deacon Live and all the other podcasts that are broadcast out of the Prophet Radio studio, get yourself something for free, a little drop-down menu, pick out what you like, and we'll send it out right away. All right, guys, on that note, my name is a Deacon saying goodnight and goodnight.
Wait, come back.
This is the end. The absolute end.
Écoute-moi.